Oh, it's so kind of moist and rich, and the actual icing has this caramel taste for some reason. Oh my goodness. You've got to make this cake. This is amazing. I can't wait to make myself a cup of tea now. Wow. This is my favorite chocolate cake so far. Hello my dear health seeker, Inga from Health Origins here. So today I have a treat for you. I'm going to be making sweet potato chocolate cake. So let's begin. So I'm excited to be making this recipe. It's from the website of Dreena Burton. I'll link the original recipe down below, but it's a really great recipe because it uses whole food ingredients and it doesn't have any refined oil in it. So and it really tasted good. When I made the first batch, I actually made it with pumpkin puree because I didn't have any sweet potato, but today I've got some sweet potatoes, so we'll do exactly as the recipe states. So we're gonna start by making wet ingredients and dry ingredients separately. So we can start with 3/4 of a cup of sweet potato that I have slow baked, or you could steam it. So basically this is just 3/4 of a cup of sweet potato flesh here. Then I need 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Don't know why I mixed the V's. So 1 tablespoon. There we go. Then we need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1 and 2. Then there's 1/4 of a cup of pure maple syrup here. And we have 1/2 cup of water. So that's all the wet ingredients. I'm gonna blend them with my stick blender. If you don't have stick blender, just blend it in your normal blender. So that only took me probably about 1/2 a minute blending. You want it to become really nice and smooth. So that's our wet ingredients done. Now for the dry ingredients. So we have, well actually this is the only modification I made because I don't have any spelt flour. So the original recipe indicated whole grain spelt flour. However, this is whole grain fine plain flour. So this is kind of like more of a pastry flour, not the dense whole grain, but it's still obviously whole grain. It's not refined flour. So 1 cup of that. Then I've got 1/3 of a cup of coconut sugar in this. So I love this recipe that it's got unrefined sugar, coconut sugar in there. Then we're gonna use 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. There you go, just a little bit to bring out that sweetness. Then we've got 1/4 of a cup of chocolate chips, so dark chocolate chips. Mine are just little tiny squares, but whatever. If you don't have chocolate chips like this, then you can just break up dark chocolate into small pieces too. So in it goes. And then I'm gonna need to sift 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. Actually, this is cacao powder that I've got. which is non-alkaline version. So in there, because I happen to have it, I'm gonna put it like that, but for my filling, I'm gonna have cocoa powder as it specifies. But for the, you know, baking itself, I'm just adding the cacao powder here, and we're sifting because we don't want big lumps of cocoa in there, because sometimes it kind of clumps up a little bit. So I'm just sifting it. And then we need a teaspoon of bicarb soda, so just like a scant teaspoon, not like a overflowing or a full teaspoon. So this is baking soda. And then also 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So there we go. And then I'm gonna give it a good mix. So now this dry mixture seems uniform, and then the author recommends pouring the wet ones onto dry ingredients and then kind of scraping the bowl and maybe even washing out with a bit of water. But my trick is to actually make sure you make your wet ingredients in a slightly larger kind of container, so that you can add your dry ingredients to this container, because that way then nothing gets wasted and it's easier to pour into your tin afterwards. So I'm just adding my dry ingredients into the wet, and we're gonna mix it up. And obviously make sure just incorporate it and not over mix it, because with gluten, so obviously wheat has got gluten, so if you over mix it you can get quite a tough cake. So you just want to just incorporate everything. And because the original recipe did specify 1 extra tablespoon of water, I'm gonna add this now because I think it's quite a thick batter otherwise. So just to loosen it a little bit. So yeah, so it's just come together here now. So I've got a my baking tin here, and I've lined it with the parchment paper, just a sheet on the bottom. And I've got my oven preheating on 175 degrees. In fact, mine is a fan oven, so I'm doing 170 or maybe actually 165 because there's about 10 degrees difference. So I'm preheating my oven, and we're gonna bake this cake for 21 to 23 minutes as specifies. So we want to make sure we distribute it evenly at the bottom here. You could do it in a different shaped pan as well. You could do it in kind of a loaf tin, like a brownie tin, you know, a square one or whichever one you prefer. But I just kind of fancy doing a cake, round cake shape. And then just give it a little wiggle, just so that it kind of evens out a little bit. And that's it. It goes into the oven, and we'll give it about 23 minutes. And while the cake is baking, we're going to be making the frosting. So the frosting is also, the main ingredient is also the sweet potato. So this is 1 cup of baked sweet potato. You could use steamed as well. So 1 cup of sweet potato. Then we've got a half a cup of almond butter, or you could use cashew butter, or I was thinking to use actually my sunflower seed butter. I think that would actually work because I used it last time I made it and it was really good. But I'm gonna just go with the original recipe and use the almond butter here. So then we have 2/3 of a cup of coconut sugar, but this coconut sugar I blended it a little bit in my spice grinder, so it's more like a very fine castor or almost like powdered sugar, because the finer your sugar is, the smoother your frosting will be, because if you're gonna put just whole coconut sugar, you'll have little bits, and you know, and it's not going to be very smooth. So it's worth to get your sugar really nice and smooth, almost like a powdered sugar. So this is 2/3 of a cup. Then we'll add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in here as well. There we go. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And also the recipe says 1 to 5 tablespoons of plant milk. So I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon and we'll see if we need to add any more. This is my homemade soy milk here. So we'll see if we need any more. And the last ingredient is cocoa powder. So this is half a cup of cocoa powder. It goes in. And now I'm just gonna blend it with my stick blender, or you could do it in a food processor or a normal blender. So yeah, so I think that is ready. That's quite a nice thick icing, and that's what I like. We really want some thick icing so that it just holds onto the cake better. I'm not going to add any more of milk. That will be great. And yeah, the smell when I was blending it is amazing. So that is ready. We're gonna wait obviously for the cake to finish baking, cool it down, and then we're gonna frost it. So the cake is out of the oven, it's still hot. I'm gonna leave it about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna pop the ring open and then gonna put it upside down on the cooling rack and peel off that paper from the bottom of it. And once it fully cools, then we'll be proceeding with the icing. So I left the cake actually to cool down overnight. I wrapped it in a towel and rested it on this wire rack. So now I'm gonna be, the towel I put on so that it doesn't dry out obviously. So I'm gonna just, the best way to put it on the plate is to put the plate over and then just invert it like that. Beautiful. So as you can see, there's a little bit of marks of the grid of the metal rack, but it doesn't matter because obviously we're going to be covering it in this delicious icing. And I've tasted the icing. Oh my goodness, it's just amazing. So I'm just gonna spoon it over to start with, just to get a good amount on. And then we've got this knife, I don't even know what it's called, to then, you know, smooth it onto our cake. Oh my goodness, this icing or frosting or whichever you call it, it could be dessert in its own right because it's so delicious. I think it actually beats my avocado frosting. I think I prefer the sweet potato one to the avocado one. So just trying to cover the sides a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna make you know, the most amazing artistic cake ever, but oh my goodness, it tasted amazing the last time I made it. So as long as it's covered with plenty of icing, I don't mind how it looks like. Making a mess here. So yeah, so now I'm gonna try and kind of even it out with this lovely tool here. See how it's, you know, when you make these kind of wide strokes. I really should have a look at some cake decorating videos, shouldn't I? I don't bake too many cakes though, but I think it would be handy obviously to know some tricks and hacks of how to make the icing process, for example, smoother and more beautiful. So just trying to level out here on the sides. I think I'm missing some bits here. Some more icing needed. Oh my goodness, this is such a moist and decadent cake. Can't wait to tuck in. It's actually afternoon and I really fancy a cup of tea with some cake right now, so this is going to be perfect. So just going to try and go around in one swoop motion like this. To try and even it out, and then also just do a little swoop on here on the top. So this is it. So this is the cake. I might clean up the sides a little bit for my photo shoot, but yeah, I can't wait to dig in. So I'll cut a little piece here. So this is it, the moment of truth. Oh my goodness, that looks so amazing here from the side. It looks so yummy. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so kind of moist and rich, and the actual icing has this caramel taste for some reason. Oh my goodness, you've got to make this cake. This is amazing. I can't wait to make myself a cup of tea now. Wow, this is my favorite chocolate cake so far, and that does not have an ounce of any oil in it, and even sugar that we used was just coconut sugar and also some maple syrup, so much healthier sugar alternatives than the white sugar. So I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, welcome and subscribe for more videos just like this on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This month I'm doing one video every day for 30 days this July, so you'll see more of me. And remember, as always, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in the body. Until next time.